Howdy, partner. Anyway, that's it. Jesse would get mad every time he come on here and I wasn't ready. So, yeah, I just need just back in that mood where I just need to not speak and just need a little solitude inside. Usually I'd be like, tripping, but see, this time I'm running straight to I'm running to God this time. I can't. I'm not trusting in human beings this time. I want God. That's all I want.
Hey guys, Temmuz got a massive sale happening now.
I just want God.
Temmuz with this fall.
I just want God.
What a week!
Yeah, right? And 2 weeks from Saturday, Survivor Series.
Can't
It's
wait.
crazy, but...
Crown Jewel is a big weekend for champions across the board.
What was your favorite moment? Yeah, click away.
It happens.
Yeah.
It's fun to do, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Megan, how about you?
This moment.
That was
I'm
huge.
so
What a return.
happy that
Don't know what's
Kyrie's
going on
back.
with Damage Control.
Yeah.
I got to say, for me, though, on Monday, what a huge win for Miz. Between us, just between us, I think he could be the guy to finally defeat Gunther.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
bold,
He's an
very
8-time
bold.
Intercontinental.
They're
Oh,
You
shit.
want to talk that smack?
No, I was just, we were
Right
just talking
behind his
amongst
back.
ourselves. It was just,
Are you trying to get
You know what?
smacked?
I've been in this spot before, so I'm going to get in there and do the show. Good, you got it. You got it.
You can
Jack.
stay.
No problem.
You can stay, Megan.
guys-
Anything, Megan,
Well, it's a
please.
fact.
Guys, we're really happy that you're here.
Yes.
Ryan didn't mean it like that, but, you know, Miz was
he
a
did.
really good Intercontinental
Yes, he
champion.
did.
Obviously,
Go,
Gunther,
Megan.
you're the bet. You know, I got to start the show. So I'm gonna
Hey, do we have that Imperium board? Do we have? Look at what's gonna. We have this Imperium. There's a bunch of Imperium posts coming.
You need to
It's gonna- look at
apologize,
this
man.
now, Miz.
He's
What a
talking that
laughable
crazy.
guy. Am I right? We're gonna really like this one, sir.
Shame on
Look at
you.
Miz. He's on the ground. That was good. Look at this Intercontinental champion. The board's even nervous like me. This is gonna be great. My heart really hurts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome on into WWE's The Bump. I'm Megan Morant, and things have already gotten off to a little bit of a tense start here on today's episode. But as always, I have Matt Camp here to help me break it down. Matt, we're off to a little bit of a bumpy start.
Oh,
you know what I
that's
mean?
that only took 258 episodes to make that joke. It was a fantastic weekend at WWE Crown Jewel. Not all new champions crowned. Logan Paul, of course, new United States champion. We'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about what The Miz did on Monday. But Megan, a little over 2 weeks away from WWE Survivor Series. Little news on that we'll get to on the show today.
Of course, we're going to
Don't you
unpack
hate it when you're
all of
trying to
that, but
find
we got to
something,
get it
can't
out to
find
our
it,
friend
man.
Ryan Popola. Ryan, I know it's been a rough way to start the show, but I hope things have gotten better. Please tell everyone how they can interact today.
First of all, Imperium, the apology strategy worked, Megan. Thank you for that. And yeah, if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to have your comments, thoughts, questions heard for Imperium or any of our guests today, or the crazy week that was in WWE,
good for you,
as we
Ryan.
now
Good
look
for
ahead
you.
to Survivor Series, hashtag WWE The Bump on all the platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube chat, sound off early, sound off often. I will be keeping tabs. You're the fourth host of this show. Thank God Imperium is not super mad at me. Megan.
Ryan, thank you so much. Well, let's talk about who's joining us on today's show. You guys already saw him, but Imperium is here in studio. We're going to chat with
Gunther.
them about all things. You saw him at the start of the show. Gunther, the longest reigning
Gunther.
Intercontinental champion. We know who Gunther's next challenger will be, so we can't wait to catch up with these guys.
sorry.
Also, this Saturday is Veterans Day, and we have Montez Ford, who is a United States Marine, to discuss his time in the armed services and talk about an initiative WWE has for veterans. But we have a ton to talk about because it was a busy weekend in WWE.
Yeah,
And Matt, that carried on over into Monday Night Raw.
As it tends to do, Megan, it carried on over to Monday Night Raw because there was fallout from WWE Crown Jewel that led to quite the opportunity for Sami Zayn and the World Heavyweight Championship. That's right. At the beginning of the night, Sami Zayn, did have to give back the Money in the Bank briefcase that he stopped Damian Priest from cashing in on Seth freaking Rollins, leading to this World Heavyweight Championship matchup. Seth gave him the opportunity, and Seth is able to be 3 seconds better than Sami Zayn to successfully defend his World Heavyweight Championship, but that wasn't the end of the night. Obviously, Judgment Day not happy with how things went down at Crown Jewel, with Priest losing to Cody, not being able to cash in, JD McDonough losing to Sami, and then, well, the numbers game would start to slowly even up. There's Jey Uso coming to the aid of Seth, coming to the aid of Sami, and he was wrecking house, but once again, it's still 4-on-3. Senior Money in the Bank with a kick of his own, taking out Jey Uso, and here comes the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, fresh off a victory against that man right there, and all the games that were being played, Adam Pearce had to handle it, and that he did.
Enough! You want to play games? We're going to play games in Chicago at Survivor Series in War Games.
It is going
you ever seen that much energy out of that
in
band?
just over 2 weeks in Chicago, Illinois at Survivor Series. The Judgment Day taking on Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins in War Games. And if you've seen the poster, you know the family. This means so much to Cody Rhodes. But Megan, this was a long time coming. It's been 2 or 3 months of Judgment Day and these 4 men battling back and forth. Adam Pearce had no choice, a choice that the WWE Universe was very happy to hear about.
And I love the expression on Cody's face. That really just captivates everybody. You mentioned the poster. You mentioned the history with Survivor Series. And then it's taking place in Chicago. Oh, boy. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins have a history with Chicago.
There's a lot of dynamics in this match. Remember, Jey Uso and Sami Zayn were on the same side of War Games last year where they forged their friendship. A little bit different now. Could Cody and Jey be walking into War Games as tag team champions? They have their rematch next Monday. And Seth and Cody on the same side. Once again, inside some steel. Not Hell in a Cell War Games, but they're on the same side back in Chicago. There are so many moving parts of this and a little over 2 weeks away.
I cannot wait for that. Well, this past weekend, Mommy looked just as dominant as ever, and it looks like she cannot be stopped, but she needs a new challenger. So on Monday Night Raw, it would be a battle royal to determine who would be the next to take on the Women's World Champion.
And before it got started, right here we see the man, Becky Lynch, coming out. She's been dealing with Xia Li, and Xia Li hits that kick right to her face. That took Becky out of the match. They also would not allow Xia Li into the match. Let's go to the Battle Royal as we go here. We see Raquel, who learned this like all sports entertainers from Texas do. You can skin the cat for only so long. She gets eliminated. We're down to Shayna. We're down to Zoe. Obviously, they've been somewhat friendly, but not right there. The DDT on the apron. And Zoe Stark will have the biggest opportunity of her career that she earned by winning that Battle Royal. It'll be Zoe Stark challenging Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship at Survivor Series. What a few months it's been for Zoe Stark. She stands on her own, heading into a massive opportunity at Survivor Series.
And, you know, we talk about how smart Mommy is. She's always playing with the mind games. She always seems like she's one step ahead. But Zoe Stark is pretty smart as well. Ever since she's been on Raw, she's been impressive, aligning herself with the Hall of Famer Trish Stratus. I mean, she's a force to be reckoned with, and this could be a very tall task for Rhea Ripley.
She's had help in the past. She's a former NXT Tag Team Champion. As you mentioned, aligning herself with Trish Stratus. She learned that's behind her now, but being on her own, truly. And I know there's been some, at least somewhat friendliness with Shayna Baszler. Zoe knows what this means. She's been working very hard. She's got a lot of fans out there, a lot of support out there. Even if she doesn't care about it, she will need all of it, because as we just saw over the weekend, Mommy defeated 4 other very game superstars to defend her championship. She'll have another very game superstar coming her way at Survivor Series in Zoe Stark.
Well, it's a lot to unpack, and I'm sure the WWE Universe was buzzing, as they always are. So, Ryan, what did they have to say about all that happened this weekend and this week on Raw?
Yeah,
Absolutely. We can't
Zoe
wait
was in
for
that
Rhea
match,
versus Zoe,
too.
but I do want to kick it back to War Games for just a second, because when talking about it from a social perspective, Andrew and so many others had to give props to Adam Pearce for his literal announcement of War Games. Got all of us hyped. But then Megan and Matt, you two were talking about the poster. Absolutely incredible. Harkens back to a lot of great memories for our youth and also what we're looking ahead to. Gunnar here says, cannot wait for War Games. Cody Rhodes being in War Games is special. November 25th can't come soon enough. Let's kick it back to Crown Jewel, though. Let's talk about Logan Paul becoming the new United States champion. And his good friend KSI, who we even saw at WrestleMania, congratulated him, saying, let's go. Who else congratulated Logan Paul? Triple H. Just 8 matches into his career, Logan Paul has cemented his place in the world of sports entertainment, and now he's got the hardware to prove it. As for Logan Paul himself, yeah, he had thoughts as well. This is what he had to say on X after the fact. Plainly and simply calling himself your United States champion. Talking about people making waves, though, let's talk about Alpha Academy as a whole, because although she came up short in the Battle Royal, Maxine looked incredibly impressive. She absolutely came to serve. And then Akira Tozawa looked incredibly impressive both on Monday on Raw against Shinsuke Nakamura and even last night on NXT. Incredibly impressive efforts for all parties involved in Alpha Academy. Also, it's a social segment, and they made major waves on social yesterday with this.
Akira Tozawa.
It's one of my favorite videos to just ever exist on any platform of any kind ever. Incredible. And then speaking of incredible, we would be remiss. We've talked about a crazy week and weekend in WWE. Megan Morant had a crazy weekend as well. She was with us on Saturday for Crown Jewel, and then on Sunday, she ran the New York City Marathon. Let's look at some of these highlights here. Megan, first of all, from all of us, congratulations. You took us all on the journey with you, both us personally here at The Bump and all of us on social. Just want to give you the floor to talk about what an incredible accomplishment for you.
Oh, you guys, thank you so much for including me in this segment. I also want to give a shout out to Molly Holly, who completed her first marathon. So congratulations to Molly Holly. We also raised money for Connor's Cure, which is an excellent cause that WWE is really proud to support. For me, it was a very special day. 15 weeks since my surgery and 3 hours, 2 minutes, 13 seconds, 112th overall. Very happy to run through the streets of the greatest city in the world with screaming fans. And you guys, I have to tell you, when you run across that Queensboro Bridge, it's dead quiet. There are just runners. All you hear are footsteps. And then you make that turn onto First Ave. That's my Royal Rumble moment right there. But it is the longest Royal Rumble entrance you will ever get. I was like, please get me to the ring, please. But I thought of Nikki Cross there and the run that she had at Royal Rumble during her entrance as well.
You were inspired by many. You inspired so many else. Congratulations. Right back here with us. You had a busy weekend and right back to work. So we like that.
Absolutely. Well, we have to welcome on our very first guest on the show. WWE is honored and very proud to support veterans during the month of November. Support all of our nation's heroes through our partnership with USO, United States Organizations, and National Medal of Honor Museum Foundation. WWE continues its long-standing support for the military, active duty service members, and veterans for all lines of duty in the lead up to Veterans Day on Friday, November 10th. Today, we have one of our superstars who served as a United States Marine here to talk with us about Veterans Day and a little bit about what's going on in his world on Friday Night SmackDown. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Montez Ford.
How's everyone doing today? I will say the Almighty was a little bit upset that my time was taken away today, but when I told him what the cause was for, he gave me an excuse. He said, hey, I'll let it pass. So I'm just letting you guys know that right off the rip.
Well, thank you so much for making the time. Please send our regards to the Almighty One. You are looking spiff as ever. Love the get up. How are you doing on this afternoon?
I'm doing absolutely fine. I'm with the Almighty Bobby Lashley. I'm with my right-hand man, 100 Grand, Angelo Dawkins. Life is great. We're coming off a few, had on a few business the last few weeks. everything is well, the sun is shining, the weather is perfect. And then also the WWE Universe is watching me right now, so it can't get better than this. So I think it's doing pretty well. How about you guys?
Oh, we're doing great, and we want to thank you for your service all the time, but especially during the month of November, during Veterans Day. Montez, what does Veterans Day mean to you?
It means everything, absolutely everything. And Veterans Day, for individuals who don't know, is a day to honor the millions and millions and millions who have served this great country. And that's through overall events, affairs, and periods of time throughout our service and the history of our country. And I think I'm very fortunate in being a part of, this, because I'm a WWE superstar, but I'm also a veteran. So I bring awareness to it just by presenting to the world everything that the service has already taught me. And I think it's a beautiful thing, because that also helps me service to not just my family and the WWE Universe, but just the world. So everything the service has taught me, I try to bring it to the WWE as well.
And we thank you for that, and it's ongoing. WWE is proud to support our nation's heroes through partnerships with the USO and the National Medal of Honor Museum Foundation. Montez, how rewarding is it to see the work that those organizations do?
It's extremely rewarding, because, for one, I understand all the sacrifices that all these organizations do, but to take the time and to make the effort. And I have to also give a big shout out to the WWE itself. The WWE is involved with the veterans so many different ways, and every single year we're involved with either the military dinners, the balls, the hospital veterans visits that we every single year are part of. The community service at the events, every time we do premium live events, being involved with the community, being involved with the veterans. There's been numerous events where we've went to the shelters in the morning and fed the veterans. So just the interactive involvement of the organizations, including WWE, is such a big help. And it lets these veterans know that, their hard work and sacrifices are much appreciated.
And of course, that's going on all the time. WWE is also proud to offer active service members a complimentary ticket at the box office on the day of the show all year round. And of course, in the month of November, WWE is also extending that same offer to veterans. So, Montez, how important is it to honor our veterans and active military members, and how cool is it to get to interact with them at the shows?
What's so crazy? I have a own personal story about this. I was actually able to go to a WWE Raw because I was still in the military. And I went to the box office in day of in San Diego. And I was actually able to attend a WWE Raw just because of that. So this is living proof. I'm living proof that you can actually, attend by being a service member. But it just goes to show the extent of the appreciation that WWE has for the service members. Let them know we understand your sacrifice, your due diligence to this country, and what better way to reward you by seeing all of your WWE superstars. So it's amazing. I know how I felt at the time when I was able to go see a WWE Raw show, excited as being a fan. So I know just not only just doing sacrifices for the country, but being able to see your WWE superstars on top of that just is more rewarding full circle.
How cool is that? When you were in the service, you were attending as a fan, and now you're a WWE superstar. Really coming full circle. But, Tez, we're also auctioning off a title belt that is signed by The Undertaker, Bianca Belair, and yourself. This is such an awesome opportunity, and all of the proceeds are going to USO. How special is it for you to turn around and use your platform and really, again, make this full circle?
Man, so I was just saying this in the beginning. Like I said, I'm very blessed and fortunate to be a WWE superstar and be living proof of, having dreams, having admirations, and, being part of the service. And now being part of the service, aspirations, being now part of WWE, and now being fortunate to give back to the same individuals that gave back to me. So just because of WWE's continued way of showing their promise to service members, it's in a way led me to be here to achieve my dream. So very blessed and fortunate for that. I'm glad to see that this is something that has still continued to go on forever. Very excited for it. And it does extend to the month of November, a WWE title signed by the dead yeah, man, The Undertaker.
That's a nice
myself,
belt, man.
Montez
That's
Ford,
what I.
one half of the
That's a
Street
look
Profits,
at
and
that
also
belt, yo.
EST of the WWE, Bianca
I
Belair.
want that.
It's exciting, and it's a good early, Christmas present for everyone to,
Look at that belt,
Christmas
man.
present.
That's
and
it. That has my
proceeds
name
to
all over it.
win-win
I want to
situation,
sign it.
guys.
You're going to want to get your hands on that title, like you mentioned. EST, Ford,
I put that in the back of my car.
and The
yo. Are you
Undertaker.
kidding
How
me?
could it get better than that? Well, Tez, you
Somebody
not only
steal
are a
it, but-
WWE superstar, but you have been so successful in your time in WWE. What
I love
lessons
it,
did you
yeah.
learn during your time in the Marines that helped lead you to success, or helped lead you to success as a WWE superstar?
I don't think I have enough time to say all of them on the show,
Angela.
but I will say in the military, specifically in the Marines, we always had like the 13 leadership traits that we always like live by, and I can know specifically on hand those 13 leadership traits have helped me carry on through life, into taking tact, into taking the initiative, and everything that comes in those traits that they gave us and they told us to learn. I feel like I've carried that throughout life, and it's helped me to be successful. It's helped me to be taking the initiative, to have the tact, to have the decisiveness in a lot of situations in life that I will approach. And I feel like everything they've taught me has shaped me to be the man that I am and the WWE superstar that I am today. And I'm very, very grateful for it.
Montez, that's incredible. We, of course, appreciate your service, and we also really appreciate that
WWE
perspective. To bring it through a social lens, though, there's a lot I want to talk about, a lot going on for you right now, even outside of the ring. We have to talk about Love and WWE, Bianca and Montez, coming to Hulu this coming February. What do you want to tell the WWE Universe about this show?
This will be the greatest show of all time, okay? You guys have been patiently waiting. We've been asking. People have been on the DMs. They've been on the Instagram stories. What do you guys eat? What do you like to cook? What is your favorite color? What shoes do you have? How do your feet smell in the morning? Well, guess what? You get the answer to all those questions and more. It's Love and WWE, Bianca and Montez. This is just our story. This is not the complete story of how a WWE superstar is. This is our story. It's no one else's story, just our story. It's fun, it's lighthearted. Let's pull the curtain back a little bit so you guys can see other elements on ourselves. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I think you guys are going to truly enjoy it.
Montez, to the point of all of those questions, there was so much excitement. I could have pulled so many tweets just like this one saying that the Bianca and Montez reality show is going to be fire and people can't wait. I'm sure you saw it as well. For you and Bianca, after the announcement was official, how exciting was it for you two to see how excited everyone was?
You know, it's so cool because just to see the warm reception from like, the universe and fans, and even surprised me that so many people are interested in what I want to do. But I mean, it kind of makes sense. But anyway, with that being said, just being absolutely excited, and we're just glad to give the WWE Universe another layer of what we've already given them, inside and outside of the ring. So now it's just another layer to like present to them. So,
Fantastic. We cannot wait for it. Let's talk about something else that got a lot of people talking, and that's your new theme song. Crispy here saying the transition from Bobby's theme into the Street Profits' new theme is so good, and I'm going to enjoy this new theme song a lot. What was you and Dawkins' first impressions when you heard the theme?
Oh, it's fire. And it meets that tone. It meets that tone that we're trying to set now. We still the Street Profits. We still everything that y'all know and seen and grown to be. But now we about that business.
Yeah.
Okay, BIDNASS. Business. I need y'all to say it with me. 1, 2, 3.
Business.
Here we go.
Do we do that right? Do we do that okay? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, y'all did it perfect.
Well, Tez, I gotta address a little bit of an elephant in the room. The last time you were on the bump, things got a little tense towards the end of the show. It seemed that you and Dawkins couldn't really get on the same page with Lashley, but ever since that appearance, things have been going great. Do you think you guys have finally proven yourselves?
Renew your mind, right, Tez?
You know,
Transform.
When me and myself and Dawkins were wearing the jerseys and I was wearing the number, I wore the number 24 because of the Mamba mentality. And what Kobe Bryant always taught me was like, the job is not finished. Even though everything is well and everything is doing well, everything's moving, we're having success, job is still not finished. Job's not finished.
True.
We still don't have the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. So
true.
Job's not finished. Everything's going well, but we're not getting complacent. We still got work that needs and will be done.
I think what Bobby has done for you and how
Wrestling.
you have maybe changed your demeanor has attracted some other WWE superstars. After we saw you, Dawkins, and Lashley give Logan Paul his props last Friday, by the way, United States champion, B-Fab approached you and asked to speak to Lashley. Let's take a look at that right now.
All the money's on him.
Guys see that? That's what success is about. And the man comes here and he takes exactly what he wants. That's what we gotta do. That's
the profits
can be
are
done.
up. New suits,
Just look
new
at Kalari
Rolexes.
Purdue.
Y'all look good. Hey, Bobby, you think I can talk to you for a second?
I'm saying
absolutely. Let's talk.
Tez?
the
It's been a
greatest of all
few
eternity in
days. Can you
Christ
shed any
Jesus.
light on what happened there?
You know, still to this point, I still don't know what this particular conversation was about. I think the more puzzling thing to myself and Dawkins is, you know, what she got to say to Bobby that she can't say to all three of us. You know, but, you know, respectfully so, whatever she has to say, you know, I guess it didn't contain or pertain to me and Bobby. So I guess we're just going to have to see this upcoming week, you know, what exactly that conversation's about. Because I'm curious myself, you know. I did feel a certain type of way. Like, you know, B-Fab's coming up, you know. She wants to talk to Bobby, but I want to talk to myself and Dawkins. So I think initially anybody would feel a certain type of way. That they're not included on whatever needs to be talked about with the individual that they're dealing with. But patience is a virtue. So I'll have to see this week exactly what this conversation was specifically about in due details.
Fair enough. We'll await that. Maybe we'll see what happened this week on SmackDown. Now, you talked about the goal. It's about business. We know all about that. But I have to ask you.
Bidnas.
That's it. I think that.
Not business, bidnas.
Bidnas.
Right? Is that it?
Bidnas.
Okay.
That's right. Right. That's a marathon runner right there. You should listen.
You're right. You're right, Tess.
Right there.
So speaking of that, I have to ask, someone has gotten involved in that a little bit, and that is Carlito. And obviously you've dealt with him and the LWO. My most important question to you, since being involved with Carlito and the LWO, has your opinions on apples changed at all?
You know, no. Because apples are healthy. And I can't judge an apple particularly because of the person and how they're using it. It's not the apple's fault that he's using it in a demeanor way to spit on this or try to spit on this pretty face. I can't get mad at him for using the apple and such. Is that the apple's fault? No. But it's the person operating the apple.
Tell the truth. Ain't that the truth?
Since I was an adolescent, since I was coming up in middle school. And I was going through school, looking fresh as a desk, and saying, you know what? That's not cool. And if I seen something that wasn't cool, I would address it in the same demeanor that he would said it. But now, my dreams will come true. I'm on the same platform as him.
Yeah.
And I'm on a mission. But as I'm on that mission, it just so happens that the person that I watched and idolized growing up just seems to be right there in my way.
Jesus.
And I must tell you, when it comes to a decision between my childhood dreams and who I idolized and moving forward, my mission to succeed. Moving forward to succeed will always be the answer.
Mission.
So unfortunately for him, that may not be cool.
That's it. That's it.
Wow. Well said. Beautifully done. And Tez, we're all looking forward to that. We want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us here today. We know you have a lot of bidnas to deal with as it relates to the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. But before we let you go, I wanted to give you the floor and thank you once again for your service. But do you have a message for any veterans out there or for maybe any active duty members of the military who are watching at home?
I just want to give a shout out to all the veterans, past, present, future. Happy Veterans Day. Enjoy yourself. Show love. Just know that your sacrifices, your due diligence, your tact, your initiative, and your grace to offer yourselves for this country is greatly appreciated. Hope you enjoy yourself, not just for Veterans Day, but every day for the rest of your lives. Big shout out to the Highlanders, the tip of the spear, 1st LAR Reconnaissance Battalion service members that I served with while I was in the armed forces. Hoorah, and God bless you guys.
Thank you very much, Taz.
Thank you so much, Taz. We really appreciate it.
Peace again, brother.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
All right, you guys. Well, that was awesome having Tez on. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to everybody at home for your service that is watching. But we have to move on in the show and talk about a very exciting episode of Friday Night SmackDown that is just days away. So let's take a look at what we have to look forward to on the Blue Brand.
The Blue Brand.
Bloodlust in the eyes of Solo Sikoa. Beat down of the greatest of all time.
John Cena.
Roman Reigns continues to dominate as the undisputed champion. This Friday, after the shock seen around the world, what's next for the unstoppable bloodline? A star-studded SmackDown awaits. Bailey has no clue what just happened.
Just wrap it up, dude.
Friday Night SmackDown.
Roman's gonna have
this
to
Friday,
break
8/7 Central,
the
only
biggest
on
record in
Fox.
wrestling in the male division. Never, ever, ever. Now, I don't know. I got a big mouth. If you can't hear me well, if I can't hear myself well, next stream I'll take care of it. When you talk about loud, I mean, I love Bishop Ellis's, Sunday service. And usually when the people start to speak, they turn the volume down. I mean, I don't know why.
For over 500 days, Gunther has defended his Intercontinental title against some of the WWE's best, and for over 500 days, he's done that successfully. He is the longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time. So now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser Imperium to the Bump Studio.
517.
Oh.
Hello.
The
Welcome.
longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time.
Welcome. Please take a seat. Welcome back to the studio, you guys. Thank you so much for coming in here. This is your second
floor is yours,
appearance here.
gentlemen.
Does that mean the bump is sacred?
No, it's not.
Oh.
Especially it's. So the thing before.
Oh.
Let's get that out of the way, so you can just relax, because myself and I guess Ludwig as well, none of us is offended or anything like that, because you're not important enough to us that you could offend us in any way. So just wanted to set that straight.
Okay. Well, how are you guys doing today?
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Thank you for having us.
I don't need you.
No, we're not that important. We're very happy that you're here in studio, but I do have to address what we did watch on Monday Night Raw. The Miz won that Fatal 4-Way match, and he will now be the #1 contender for your Intercontinental title. What did you think about his victory, Gunther?
You are not important enough, dude.
Very impressive.
There is no other
sports
interview
entertains
on the
everybody out
planet
there in the
that you
arena,
will
right?
see like or hear like
Looks
this.
like he even wrestled a little bit.
My God, yo.
Is impressive. The man has capabilities I wasn't aware of.
That is amazing.
But yeah.
Never will you find
It looked like a little bit of a
anywhere else.
chaotic finish here, right? But at the end,
Not
he made
important
it. And I'm looking
enough.
forward to
Damn!
it.
Damn!
He looked very excited. He looked very into the moment, but he has to face his
Ouch!
reality. His reality.
My heart
He has to
hurts
face
now, yo! Ouch!
At Survivor Series.
Damn!
I'm very intrigued about that match, because he is one of the greatest this company has ever produced. One of the greatest sports entertainers this company has ever produced.
I'm sorry.
But he's definitely in the fall of his career.
I am stuck on that, yo.
And maybe being in the ring with me will make him realize that it's time to
move on.
Step away maybe and make room for the people that matter now.
Wow. Well, after that went down on Raw, we got your comments, a little bit more of that on Raw Talk. Let's take a look.
I'm sorry. I said the floor is yours, and I'm just going crazy.
Some people are just better than others.
True.
You know, like The Miz. For example, The Miz. I mean, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, they're just not up to Imperium standards. Up to our standards. Get it? Because they're short. Buddy Kleinsen. You know, what I'm trying to say is, that is exactly the reason why Imperium is the most dominant force on Monday Night Raw. And that is exactly what we are going to keep doing.
We thank both of you for joining us on Raw Talk once again here on WWE's The Bump. Ludwig, I ask you this. What is that standard other than the height requirement, I guess?
I think we've been proving that for the almost last 2 years. You know, whenever we step on that mat, we definitely set a statement. We provide the WWE Universe with the best performance of the night. And we also restore the honor of the sport, because that was desperately needed 100% for a long, long time. And as you can see, it's not easy for us. We have to deal with short men, big egos, and have to, you know, set their head straight a little bit. And that is not a very easy job to do. But if not us, who then? You know, there is nobody else who shoulder that responsibility. We are aware of that, and that's what we are going to keep doing as well.
Gunther, last week on Raw, you showed no interest in being a guest on Miz TV, yet you still came out to confront The Miz. Why are you so put off by him?
I mean, look at the scenario. And that question shows me that you don't get it as well, because there's a wrestling ring, and I don't know why a talk show
let's just get real. It's beneath him.
Has to happen in there. I think the sole purpose of a professional wrestling ring
is to fight.
Athletes competing, and identifying who's the best and who's the most deserving to be the champion. So that's against any principle I have.
Good ass weed.
So at the end of the day, I was forced to come out, and he didn't seem to get the message that Ludwig was delivering to him. So I had to go out and do it myself and make him feel what it means to disrespect something that's very important to me.
Well, I can see the Miz is not for you, and the Miz may not be for everyone, but you can't deny his accolades. I mean, the Miz has had a very impressive career here in WWE. You take a look at it right here: 2-time WWE champion, 8-time Intercontinental champion, 2-time United States champion, 8-time tag team champion, 2-time Mr. Money in the Bank, and the first ever 2-time Grand Slam champion. So Gunther, you may not like Miz TV, you may not like the talk show segments, but how would you assess his career?
Yourself, I don't know if the viewers can still see that picture we just saw of him, but look at him. I mean, isn't it a big deal of how you... Yeah, look at him. Was ist das?
Nice.
Yeah, isn't it a big deal?
Now let me jump in for a sec. That's championship dream, dog.
How you carry yourself, how you carry yourself as a person that
you're not a WWE champion.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Treat seriously, and don't walk around looking like a clown.
No.
So I think that sums it up pretty much what my issue was with him.
I'm the fourth host. Thank you, Ryan. No.
What it means to be in the ring with me.
No. Beat Roman Reigns, dog.
Well, before he gets to you,
and you, Ludwig, you get your butt whooped every week.
We saw that Ivar obviously wasn't too pleased with how that match ended
always
on Monday.
Mad at you,
and Ivar's been on a roll lately. He's been dominating singles competition. How would you assess the Miz against Ivar?
That's the truth.
Two completely different competitors.
I just snitched on you. Now, keep talking.
Yeah, he could be a very dangerous opponent for me, because he brings the size. He might be a little bit heavier than I am, and he brings the agility as well. He's very agile.
If that's what makes you feel better.
For a man his size. Miz on the other side, I guess we just talked about him. Compared to that, yeah, his wrestling skills are very minimum, I think.
Ouch.
That's why he's not as much of a danger to me than Ivar would be. But he brings in other upsides. I think Miz brings in like a lot of skills when it comes to the microphone. I gotta honestly admit that he's able to tear me apart on the microphone, and that has a psychological effect on people that are weaker-minded than I am. But at the end, when the bell rings, all of that doesn't matter. In the ring, the only thing that matters who's the better wrestler, and in the case with Miz against me, who is really the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
Gunther, to that exact point, and to bring it to a social perspective, this tweet really caught all of our eyes this week. This is from Styx, who said he typed in Miz's name to a gift search, and the very first image he saw was Miz with the Intercontinental title, and people like Styx associate Miz with the Intercontinental Championship. Is it your goal to have, in due time, for you to be, without question, open and shut, the most synonymous person with the Intercontinental Championship?
Who's Styx?
Yeah, I have very little interest to put my effort into being known by somebody.
And then, where the heck is,
to be honest,
Giovanni?
But in general, I think
injured again.
Yeah, in the next years to come, and in the future, I'll be the one that will be. Yeah, my name will go hand in hand with the Intercontinental Championship.
Well,
absolutely. To move on, the last time you were with us, you were laser focused on the matches in front of you. You almost didn't even want to talk about the record-breaking nature of what you were about to do. However, in the weeks since breaking the record, you've allowed yourself to celebrate a little, as we've seen in pictures like these, the celebration on Raw. Has it felt good to kind of be able to kind of recognize your own accomplishment in those moments?
Yeah, since my last visit, there were a few milestones, but I'm still in the middle of, building my legacy. My goal is not reached, and until then, I won't be carried away by celebrating smaller steps on the way to the bigger goal. So the focus hasn't really changed.
Right on. And then talking about big, we obviously have to talk about Bash in Berlin. The news breaking recently that this premium live event will be emanating in Germany on Saturday, August 31st. I want to hear from both of you on this. And Ludwig, I'll start with you. How exciting is this announcement for Imperium as a whole?
I think it's very, very exciting, not only for us as Imperium, but also for the entire country of Germany. The WWE Universe in Germany is extremely strong. We have support over there. We're freshly coming from a Germany tour, 4 dates, all of them record-breaking ticket sales.
Nice.
The excitement we felt over there was just undescribable.
Yeah, Ludwig, man.
Especially for myself.
When I talk about Germany, I ain't talking about you.
WWE right now, a special homecoming for myself. In front of deserving fans, people who appreciate what we do, people who know when they see European elegance and A+ aesthetics. I mean, take a look at those pictures. Everybody was absolutely amazed. So was I. And obviously, all of that is going to August 31st. Bash in Berlin. We come to our capital, Berlin in Germany. Germany has been deserving this for many, many years, and I can guarantee
I got Peacock, man. I should be there as long as my head is in the right place.
Not going to disappoint.
Well, you guys aren't really ones for fanfare, right? You have a lot of business, or as Montez would call it, bidnass to take care of. But you've accomplished so much. So, Ludwig, how do you feel that Gunther should be celebrated?
Well, like everything with Imperium, it is very elite. It is a very small circle. So we like to keep all of that stuff to ourselves a little bit. I can guarantee you and assure you that within our inner core, we are celebrating and we're taking time for all of that. But obviously, always without losing focus and losing the view on the priority, and that is obviously
let's
for
get
the
let's
Ring General
let's
to
let's let
stay the Intercontinental Heavyweight
let's
Champion.
let the
Now, Ludwig, obviously the standard
let
is very high
Kaiser
within
and-
Imperium. Do you feel a greater responsibility
What's his
to
name?
represent Imperium,
Giovanni
given
Top some wins,
the example
man. They
that
need it.
Gunther is setting?
100%, definitely, and
You need to get back, man.
inside of our group, I have to take certain responsibilities. We have seen the results or the missing results of Giovanni Vinci the last couple of weeks, and that is something definitely we try to hold ourselves to higher standards
Just
than
win. That's all
anyone
you
in the
gotta do.
WWE universe. And obviously,
You know
we have
me.
to
Come
take a
on.
look at ourselves there as well. So yes, I am stepping up and I am taking responsibility for shortcomings of the past. For example, of Giovanni Vinci.
Don't worry about it. That's the
Gunther,
past.
obviously, your historic reign speaks for itself. That's your individual accomplishment. But when you look at Imperium as a whole, how important is it to keep that standard up and you to make sure that that standard remains high in all of Imperium?
Yeah, obviously very important. Because at the end of the day, we compete with nobody else that is in WWE. We don't compare ourselves to everybody else. We compare ourselves with us, with each other, and try to progress and get better each day. And that's where the whole focus is. But as long as you develop, you're doing good. Like, I think standing still is the
You are a
most
machine.
dangerous thing. So, and we've been moving fast.
Ludwig, you certainly weren't standing still on Monday because you involved yourself in the DIY
That
versus
man is a
Creed's matchup.
machine.
Creed's very impressive in 2 weeks on Monday Night Raw, but you didn't get involved in this one here. Why did you make a point to get involved in a match that you weren't part of?
Well, like I said, some people are just better than others. Obviously nobody can reach Imperium, but looking at those two teams, definitely the Creed brothers have much more potential than the other two short men in that ring. And obviously, going off of the Raw before that week, we still had a bone to pick with them. And at the end of the day, you can tell, don't mess with us. It's not going to be good for you in the long run.
And
we don't forget.
Clearly not.
Forget.
Clearly not. And Gunther, how did you feel about the initiative that Ludwig took in that match?
Oh, I liked it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's very important. When you have responsibility, you gotta act. It's like you cannot sit around and think. But obviously, at the end of the day, I was aware of what is going down there. But very well executed, I have to say.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
Now, Ludwig, we know you think they're short, but they've accomplished a lot in WWE as well. So what's your assessment of DIY?
What did they achieve?
They had a very successful career down in NXT. I mean,
NXT Tag Team Champions.
Yes.
They're both NXT champion.
So was I.
True. Yes. 2 times. And they only did it once. That's true.
yes. But how would you assess them rejoining and coming back together and forming DIY? It's nice to see them together again.
Oh.
That is your opinion, first of all, and you're absolutely entitled to that. But I think that everybody, it is quite clear to everyone.
Tell them.
If you look at the 4 guys standing in the ring,
Play
there's
that
2
heel, yo.
professionals,
Play it.
Giovanni Vinci and myself, and you have those 2 guys in there. It is very obvious who should represent the WWE universe to the world, right? Surely not those 2 short clowns in the ring. Surely it has to be somebody who is an elite athlete, looks like one, and is also able to deliver that each and every Monday Night Raw, and that is exactly what we've been doing.
Well, the tag team division on Raw is getting deeper and deeper. We saw the addition of the Creed brothers. DIY, no matter what you say, they are accomplished, and you have the New Day in the
Gunther
mix.
said you're not
what do you
important.
make of this suddenly very deep tag division on Monday nights?
It is very much the same what the Ring General just said. We don't really compare. We don't really look left and right. We have one vision. That vision has only one direction, and that is forward, and that's what we've been doing since we
Excuse me.
there is no stop, there is no left, there is no right. We all
It's just
look
straight.
in the same direction, that is forward. And look how far we have come in just not even 2 years. How can you compare that? Like, to whom can you compare that? There is nobody else. And I can guarantee you, Megan, for Imperium and every single member of Imperium, sky's the limit. Watch out, mark my words.
Bold statement, absolutely well-deserved. Speaking of sky's the limit, speaking of excitement, the WWE Universe was incredibly excited to hear both of you would be on the show today. We have a lot of fan questions. This first one coming from Julie. We saw this a couple times, actually. How did you two come up with the jacket swipe portion of Gunther's entrance? People love it.
You know, we didn't come up with anything, I gotta say. You know, some things are just there. They happen organically, and there is a reason why the Ring General and myself share so much history together, because, you know, some people are meant to be, and it takes sometimes the chemistry of two people, you know, to make special things happen. And I can say whatever we touch is special, and that is just one single part of it.
Absolutely. We will move on. This next one is from Jushin Thunder Cohen. Gunther, this one is for you, who wants to know, what's your absolute least favorite thing about The Miz?
Oh.
Pick one.
Oh. Is it all of it?
Pick one.
That's what I was thinking.
That says it all right there. And then, fair enough. And then this last one is from Connor. A really insightful question, I thought. Gunther, having competed across various non-American countries, such as England, Germany, and Japan, whom each have their own unique style of wrestling, what has been your favorite part of bringing that variety to America?
Well, I'm definitely not on a mission to bring the world's wrestling styles into America. That's not my goal. But I think I always try to take, out of every style, I try to take what suits me and what feels good for me, and I just incorporated that. And that's just what I do now. I think that just happens along the way. But obviously, as somebody that knows our sport a little bit better, I like a lot of the Japanese stuff, the Japanese style. I can really identify with that, but it's just a tool I use to get where I need to go.
Well, we have said it so many times, Gunther, but we have to say it again. You are the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. And a lot of fantastic WWE superstars have held this very title right here. And we wanted to get your thoughts on some of these former Intercontinental Championships. We're going to call this game The Title is Sacred. And here is how it's going to work. We're going to put up a picture of an Intercontinental Champion of the past. We want your honest opinion on how they represented this sacred title. Please do not hold back. I don't think that will be a problem. And Ludwig, feel free to jump on in with your thoughts as well on the former Intercontinental Champions. So let's start with the first one. Here is a picture of Honky Tonk Man. What do you think of that guy right there?
Yeah, I don't think, not even in the same league.
And that's the man whose record you beat.
Yeah, that's just a number, but there's a difference between quality and quantity.
Now, was there a time at one point before you had the record where you looked up to him, where you idolized him?
Yeah, well, I got both.
Oh.
I didn't think so. I didn't
beat that.
You be on different paths in your careers.
Yeah.
And you both had great Intercontinental Championship reigns. Another man who held that championship with prestige is the Macho Man, Randy Savage. What did you think of the Macho Man as the IC champion?
Yeah, gotta respect that man. Very, amazing career. And in general, I think a character that will always stick with our sport, even the decades to come, because it was so unique and it stood out in so many different ways. So, my respect.
And would you say someone like him you appreciate and maybe think of the same way, where he parlayed his championship success, the Intercontinental Championship, to the WWE Championship?
He did, yes. And yeah, we'll see where I go. I'm focused on staying the Intercontinental Champion.
You know, this what you're looking at is actually where I beat Cena and Flair's record.
Yeah, like I said, all my respects to the Macho Man.
I want to get Ludwig's thoughts on some of these as well. So let's take a look at our next Intercontinental Champion right here. What do you think of this
Mr.
guy?
Perfect.
Mr. Perfect. Ludwig, does that strike any chords for you? What do you think?
Absolutely. Definitely, I gotta admit, one of my absolute favorites growing up. Funny enough, I'm a second-generation superstar, and my dad actually competed against his dad.
Larry the Axe.
Yes,
Wow.
Larry the Axe Hennig in Japan, actually.
Super history.
And yeah, absolute favorite of mine. Great professional, in my opinion. Definitely somebody who
Shut it down.
looked at
I guess.
professional wrestling from the same view or the same angle a little bit, I want to say. So definitely a great champion, 100%.
Someone who may also be in that vein and defeated Mr. Perfect at
Yeah,
SummerSlam
I'll sit it
1991. Brett, the Hitman Hart, there he is at SummerSlam 1991 with that Intercontinental Championship. Gunther, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on the Hitman?
I mean, I think it's obvious that, like, in ring, he's one of the best to ever do it. Very enjoyable, and he was very popular in Germany and Austria when I was growing up. So he was a big superstar there. But as Ludwig said before, I don't forget, and that man sat at my match in Cardiff and was not mentioning nice things after that. So he's not gonna get anything nice of me. Too bad. He's not in the state anymore to settle this in the ring. I would be very interested.
Don't you worry about it, because when he was a young up-and-comer, he actually competed in Germany and got beat several times by my dad. So he actually, figured that out, in advance for us. So don't you worry about that.
The score was already settled. Wow,
I heard he's quite bitter about it nowadays still. That's what I heard. I don't know.
Gotta be careful what you
Okay,
say.
well, let's take a look at our next
Watch your mouth.
Intercontinental champion. One of the best ever. The Ultimate
Jesus.
Warrior. You gotta love this guy, right, Gunther?
Those are the real dark ages. Sport.
Bodybuilders and
Dark
showman.
ages?
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that. He's one of the best WWE superstars of all time.
No, he's not.
What don't you like about Warrior?
He is a showman. He's not an athlete, not a professional wrestler. He's a showman. So now everybody knows why I had to be the one to keep this title for the longest time in history, to wash its reputation clean and set it to a new standard, because
The man who beat the Honky Tonk Man, of course, in just a matter of seconds, and then you took care of that. So that's why he's the greatest.
It's a good matchup.
We will bring it back to a social perspective. Ludwig, I'm gonna kick this to you. You talked about it a little bit ago, that your return to Hamburg, incredible. I just really want to know, for you, when you see this footage back, what really resonates with you about that night?
Yeah, that's amazing. Obviously, that is Hamburg. That is my hometown. I had so many people, family, friends, people that I haven't seen in almost a decade. It's just crazy. You got to see, like 2017, I took my 2 bags, left home, left family, left friends, and came over to the United States of America to start a new life. And ever since, I never really had the opportunity to come home and celebrate with all my fellow German WWE fans. And that night was truly magical for myself, but for everyone involved and present at that particular day. It was absolutely amazing, and lets me already think and dream about the 31st of August Bash in Berlin. We're gonna definitely take this beautiful venue apart, because Germany is gonna run wild.
If you're gonna hold that championship,
It's going to be an incredibly special night. Let's keep with international shows and talk about a massive match that you had against John Cena and Seth freaking Rollins at Superstar Spectacle. Ludwig, what do you take away from a match like that against those 2 superstars?
Well, obviously, when we say the mat is sacred, I'm a big fan of history, and I'm a big believer in, appreciating the people who paved the way. And 100% both of those 2 men are men who paved the way. And 2 of the absolute all-time greats. I mean, we're speaking about the world heavyweight champion Seth freaking Rollins, and John Cena, who's, arguably one of the best guys to ever do this. So, is John Cena someone that I look at from an Imperium perspective as the greatest of all time? Probably not, but is he someone who revolutionized our WWE universe? 100%. So he's definitely one of the all-time greats. And from a professional standpoint, it was an absolute pleasure to stand in the ring, stand on that sacred mat with those 2 men.
Very fair, by the way. That might explain why you knocked over John Cena in his United States Championship behind us, but you took care of business there. Gunther, I want to ask you about what's going on around WWE with factions, whether it be the Judgment Day and the success that they had, or the Bloodline, and you see more and more strength in numbers. Do you find yourself, while you really measure yourself up against each other, caring about jockeying for position amongst the factions in WWE?
Not really. Most of the factions, they seem to avoiding me anyway, so there's nothing to be stressed out about.
You don't care about the power that maybe comes with being at the top?
No, like I said before,
why would you?
No comparison to anybody else. So yeah, like I said, we usually never get in the way of each other, so as long as that's the case, I'm fine with it.
I want to bring it back to The Miz because I felt like you awakened something in him that we hadn't seen before. I don't know if that was your intent last week on Miz TV, but he held that Intercontinental Championship 8 times for 592 days. You're on day 517 today. Are you happy that you have awakened something in Miz that maybe we haven't seen in a while?
Yeah, I think so. I think with most of my opponents, I bring out something in them that they usually don't show because, they have to fight
you're the most selfish human being I've ever met.
Putting on a good match for the audience that excites them. I'm interested in putting on a performance that will be successful at the end of the day, and which is more efficient.
Good man. Gunther.
Yeah, but
me. What
if he has a backbone. And if he has some courage to, really endure.
Lord have mercy. You are the most.
And a lot of pain.
I'm so glad we don't hang out. You will bore me to death.
You feel about The Miz,
I wouldn't know what to talk about with you because you'd be mad at everything.
Which concerns me?
About The Miz, you awoken something
Not
in?
a
Does
damn
it concern
thing.
you?
No, it doesn't concern me because I know what he has to bring, and that's what I'm aiming for, and I hope he does, because then it's going to be exciting for everybody involved.
All right, Gunther. Well, thank you, Imperium, for joining us here in the studio today. It was a pleasure. Thank you to Montez Ford as well.
Don't ever
thank you
come
to
back.
everybody watching at
Leave
home.
that nigga
For
alone.
Matt Camp and Ryan
Let him
Pacola,
just
I'm Megan
win,
Morant,
kick
and we'll
ass.
see you guys next week.
Yes. Oh my Lord. Me. My goodness. You ever heard any more me than this? Oh my Lord. But oh Lord. Well, that's the end of the episode, so I guess I'll see you next time. Bye.